Hello, and welcome to Havoc Wargaming, dedicated to bringing you the uncommon. For those of you who haven't met me, my name is Ron, and today we're going to do a gameplay and after-action report of Lunar by Blackside Studios. So let's get started. Lunar is a new game by Blackside Studios for brutal combat on the lunar surface. And I've had it for a while. I did a box opening when I first received it, but I haven't been able to get around to actually doing a gameplay video and showing you the game in action. So I'm going to do that now. Now, there already are some excellent videos on both on gameplay and on how the rules work for this game that are up on the Blackside Studios, but I thought I'd go ahead and show you the game in action here. Now, I should also mention it's been a while since I've played and a while since I reread the rules. And there are a few errors in the video. I'm going to try to catch those and correct them. So sorry about that. We'll endeavor to correct what we can. But all that being said, let's go to the gaming table. Here's our little bit of the moon for today's game of Lunar. We are going to be playing the abandoned mining station. So this is on a 2x2 like most of these games are. It's meant for 2 players. The setup of the table is rocky terrain. We've gone ahead and used the buildings for the mining site because I have them and because they help block the site. But this is probably more crowded than you'd really want for this particular scenario. You may choose to randomly place 3 additional supply markers. The win conditions: for every resource token held at the end of the game, the player gains a point. If a player surrenders and flees, they will lose 2 points. Each player will lose 1 point to any unit that is out of action at the end of the game. The mission ends when all resources have been claimed, or the turn limit, which is 7 turns, has been met. The mission may end early if a crew kills or forces the other crew to flee. The winner is the player with the most amount of points at the end of the game. This is a small game, so this is being played with 12 points oxygen and 15 credits of supplies. We both have a generalist, a mission specialist, and our commanders. We have an array of some different weapon types. I think we both have a geology hammer and an improvised weapon. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But I have a mass shotgun for my commander, and Carrie has a ballistic knife for her commander, so that'll give us a chance to show some of the different rules as they happen in this game. First thing we need to do is we need to figure out where the random supply things go. So let's roll first to see who's going to set the first one of these up. So roll a d6.
4.
What did I get? I got a 2. No, yeah. So you got to go first. So what you're going to do is you're going to flick this onto the table somewhere like that.
I'm going to flick it, okay?
Yeah. Roll a d6.
5.
So the first one is here. Okay, this one I get to play. So that will work. 4. And then you roll for the last one. Or flick
for the last one.
Okay, then roll a d6 for distance.
3.
So same thing over here, is it's going to be right next to the other one. These that we just all placed are supplies, and the others are mining. Now we have to roll to see who deploys first. In this game, we're deploying on table edge, not in corners. So we roll off to see who gets to deploy their figures first.
5.
4. Okay, so you go. So you get to deploy your figures on your side of the table, somewhere 4 inches in.
I'll go after that other one first.
I'm going to put my guys over here. So now we're ready to start the game. We roll 1 die for, I get 6.
2.
The way this works is your oxygen, on both sides we have right now starting oxygens of 4. Your oxygen gives you how many activations you have. It also will change throughout the game. I'm going to activate my commander first. Mobility of 3. Moving through the craters is going to be considered hazardous or dangerous, so it slows down your movement to half. So if I moved 6 across this, that would be, it would normally have been 2 movements, that would be all 4. I'm going to go ahead and do that though. Alright, so I moved to there. Oh, wrong guy. There we go. Alright, here we go.
I'm gonna move my mission specialist. He's got 4 oxygens. 1, 2, takes 5 to get to here, so that's 2.5. And then this will be halved. Yeah, so 3 more would get him there. So 1.5. He's just right, almost there, not quite there.
Mission specialist. My mission specialist only has a mobility of 2, so that was 2 already. I think I can squeeze around for 3 to there, but this is going to take me up onto that, so he can only move 1 on there for his 4th, so he's there.
And my commander has a 3. So he's gonna get close. He doesn't need to go onto the crater. He's kind of doing a defensive thing. But he's going to use his special ability that says, during a commander's activation, force any friendly unit within 4 inches to take an extra action, regardless of available actions to that unit, at no oxygen cost. So that is going to give him an extra action. So he can actually get into base-to-base contact now. Mm-hmm. So he'll begin his next at base-to-base contact.
My last one, is he the 3? Yeah, he is. That's 1. Two. Stay there. 3 and 4. Oh, yay. Blocking my own shot if I wanted to shoot.
I think he's gonna...
We can't carry all this stuff.
I know.
This game is too big for us. We're playing the small level just so we can get through the sample game pretty quickly, but this is clearly too small a game for the amount of resources available to us.
So 6 gets me, actually, to the supplies.
Unless we use that rule that was in the other game, that if we get back to our deployment zone, you can drop resources and go back for more. That's the end of turn 2. Oh, there is something we have to check. Yep, on the end of each round, so it would be right now. So we all have to roll a d6 for any standing unit that is not in base-to-base contact with a piece of terrain, excluding mining nodes and supply markers. I should mention, because the terminology of this game is kind of confusing. A unit, any individual figure is a unit in this game. So what they're saying is we have to roll a d6 for each of these guys, unless they're in connection. The concept here is that you're holding on to that terrain. You know, it says any piece of terrain, but I don't see how a crater would really help you here. I'm going to roll for mine first. These 2 guys are fine, so it's only him, based on what I just said about crater rolls. So if I roll a 5 or a 6, I did not. So you have to roll for your 2 guys.
He got 6.
All right, so he has to roll a competency roll.
Great.
So you're going to roll a d6, you're going to add your competency, and you want a 5 or higher.
I got it.
You got it.
I'm going to roll for the commander. He got a 4, so he's okay.
And we have to roll initiative again for turn 2. I have a 6.
Mm-hmm. I have a 1. You got it.
First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to activate my generalist. That's his move done. No. You can jump across gaps or up to a higher or lower level. A unit may jump up to their mobility stat in inches. I just did that. Any modifiers to the declared jump distance must be stated before the unit attempts to jump. Technically, I should have mentioned modifiers. Also, technically, I should have made these rolls before I measured his final destination, but I don't think that's going to matter. There's no pre-measuring in this game. I didn't really think of this as pre-measuring, but it would have been if we were jumping a gap, because it's possible that I couldn't actually make the gap. But I'm not, I'm just leaping down off of a...
It's only about 1.5 inches high. It's definitely
If you jump
less than
distances
it's
higher or farther than your mobility stat,
It's only 1 inch high.
but I actually just went 3 because I went from here to
Two
there.
horizontally
so it was
and
two
one
horizontal,
down.
one down.
Right,
And I
right.
wasn't thinking of the three-dimensional
Right.
counting, and it clearly
Right.
does. What I'm going to do is take the exert token, but I must make a competency roll for each exert, because that's where the competency comes in. If I had been able to do it without that extra inch, I wouldn't have to do anything. If you're overburdened, you can't even jump. But I have to do a competency roll. The only thing I'm really risking, because it's not that far, is the possibility of hurting my suit. My competency, oh, I don't have a plus in my competency. Ooh, that hurts. And I am prone. So he falls, he sort of messes up his jump because he jumped too far. I have to roll a hazard die. Oh, ow, ow.
Ooh.
Oh,
Ooh.
that hurts.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so I got 2 hazards.
Oof.
Most of these suits, all the suits we're using in today's game, I think, only take 4. So I'm already in the red. He's going to be down oxygen. That hurts. And so I'm exerted, which also means I have to use an oxygen on his next activation to just get rid of the exertion. And I'm down oxygen. And I'm near the biggest collection of resource points.
My mission specialist is going to go, and he's going to try and mine those. He has a number of modifiers, too.
That's the normal one, right? The actual mining one he's doing, right?
Yes.
So its difficulty is 5+.
He's got a +1 hammer, mining hammer,
All
gives
right.
him +1. He has a +2 on his, not competency, but on his basic training to any mining action. So he has +3 then. That's 5 or 6? 1.
All right,
God.
so he doesn't get it.
He's gonna try again though, because he's got 4 oxygens and
Oh, that's right, and he started there.
he started there, so he's gonna keep trying. 3, he got 1.
All right, so
Okay.
he gets one of those tokens.
Gets 1 of them. And he's gonna try again, because there's at least 1 more token there. And 3 again, he gets that token. I don't know how much he can carry, is the question.
Well, he just increased by 2 mass.
Right. And he only had 1, but he could take 1 more.
He can actually take more than 1 more. He's just going to start losing oxygen.
Right. He can definitely try for 1 more. Nope, he doesn't get it though.
All right. Going to use my first oxygen because I have to be in base to base, apparently. So that's weird to me. The interact says you have to be within a 5, and all the minings and the supplies say you have to be base to base. Maybe that's for other types of interaction. So now he's going to try to pick that up. Now this is not a mining action because it's, oh, but he gets a +2 to interact. The basic is a 5. I have a +1 competency. I have a +2 to any interact action, so that's a +3. And I have a +1 to that, so +4 because I'm within 4 inches of the boss. And that's what my special thing is. +4, don't roll 1. I rolled a 1. Next one is not a failure. So I get one of these. I go up a mass, and I'm going to try to get 1 more. My last turn, I get that one too. Lots of supply.
My generalist is going to try to pick up the supplies that he is in base-to-base contact with. He has no modifiers, so he's trying to get a 5 or 6. Okay. He got a 6, so he gets 1. He's going to try another. He gets a 6 again. He gets the other one. But he is going to turn around and scurry back to try to put them in a safe place. So he's got 2 more oxygens left. So he can go 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay?
I'm going to move my commander. He has a mobility of 3. So his first move gets him here. He's going to climb that, which is a 1-inch move, counts as 2. So it takes him, so 1 would get him there. So his second oxygen would get him up there. And then I'm going to do an aim shot because because I'm calling that, I have to lower the ammo now. Now let's see if you're in target. I have 8-inch range.
Yeah.
Yep, I'm gonna shoot your guy in the crater. So declared, I have to roll competency. That is my leader. He's got a +2. 5. After firing a weapon, the unit must use this action before firing again. It's for recovering from having shot.
Okay.
So I'd have to do it before I shoot again.
Right.
I don't have to use the aim, which means I still have an extra. Resolve damage. There are 2 types of weapon damage. This is blunt. So this is D6 plus my weapon mass. You roll D6 plus your current mass.
Which is 11.
I rolled a 3. So I think we're tied.
We're tied.
The weapon's damage is based on by how much I beat your roll.
If you don't beat the roll, then
If
it
the
doesn't
attacker
matter.
wins the challenge
Right.
roll, the target model drops all non-starting items and concentrate tokens and is moved directly away from the attacking model a number of inches equal to the difference.
Yes.
There's no difference.
Right.
The targeting unit is laid prone at the end of the movement and rolls a single hazard dice for being laid prone unless the full movement of the unit was prevented by another unit or impassable terrain, in which case you get more damage.
So my commander activates, but the first action, because it says during a commander's activation, someone else can go. So the first thing that's going to happen is this guy is going to turn around and walk an inch out, because that's all he can do, which puts him on the far side of it. He's not going to be able to cross that crater and still be able to shoot his ballistic knife at your commander. He can't go fast enough. Maybe it's better to get the supplies off, so I can go 1.5 inches for each move over when I'm in the crater, because he goes 3 normally. 1.5 inches each move. 1.5. 1.5. Actually, he's just going to end there.
I'm going to move my mission specialist. He's only got a 2. That's going to be 1, so he can only move 4 inches. Pop, 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 pop. So we have to roll a d6 for anybody who's not in contact with terrain other than craters. So that's base to base.
All my guys.
So it's all your guys, and it's just him for me, and I make it.
And I'm aiming for a 5 or a 6. Is that
You're
anything under a
trying not
5
to
or
get a
6?
5 or 6.
All right. So first my commander. Nope, he got 2. So he's good. Right. Now the guy, the mining guy. He's got a 4. He's good. And now my generalist. He got a 5. That's not
So
good.
he has to roll a competency roll. This
Okay.
time you want to roll 5 or higher.
Yeah, and unfortunately he has no modifiers. Nope. So what happens to him?
He goes prone,
Damn.
and you have to roll a damage a hazard dice.
Ah, damn. Because he needs to get
mean-
back.
Yeah.
He's got stuff.
Does he drop stuff if he goes prone?
Oh no, he's got 2 sets of supplies.
Yeah, he drops those non-starting things.
Okay. No, but no damage, luckily.
So that takes us to turn 3.
Okay.
So I have to roll out for initiative. I only got 2. It's probably you.
I hope so. 4, 5, yes. I think we're going to do the commander. He's going to start by making 1 move. 3 gets me to the base. I'd say it's 1.5. So that's 2 moves of mine.
Yeah.
I am now in base-to-base contact. Now I've got 2 more oxygens left.
We're going into hand-to-hand. So the first thing is we have to check distance and declare a grapple. We roll for grapple. You want to perform a challenge roll using d6 plus your mobility. You could add a attack bonus of 1 to this. You're using an oxygen to do this, but you still
Right.
have an extra oxygen, don't you?
I do. I have 2 more. I have 2 oxygens right now.
So you could use that oxygen to give you a +1.
So my mobility is 3, and I'm another plus, so 4 plus 6. Yes, 10.
5. So you win. Losing unit immediately loses all concentrate tokens. Don't have any.
I'm knifing you with my ballistic knife.
So that's going to be a melee weapon. To resolve the melee attack, D6 and you add the piercing value.
6.
I roll a D6 and I add my resilience, which is 4.
Okay, so my piercing.
I'm laying prone first. But I get that. I have to roll a hazard roll for my fall. I take
First.
1. You roll your melee and add your weapon's piercing value.
5 plus 6.
I add my resiliency, which is 4.
That'll be 11.
So I got 6. So you win. But how much did you say you got?
11.
So that's a difference of 5. That's going to suck big time.
Wow.
I'm going to have to roll a bunch. So the first 2 is 1. Second 2 is 3. And the last 1. So I took 3 and I couldn't take 3. I'm going to go ahead and activate this fellow. He's going to drop these for his first oxygen. I can't help over there. So I'm going to go ahead and one, 2. I get 1 more. That's him done. Your go.
This guy's going to scurry back. He would normally be able to go 8 inches, but it'll be 7 because he's still on a crater. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Hey, this guy's messed up. I am not doing well in this game. I have to use 1 oxygen to get rid of this. I have to use another oxygen to stand. And because I'm damaged, I only have 1 more oxygen, which I'm going to use to go over to the mining node. All right, that's me done.
So I use 1 to stand. Now, I have to pick up what I dropped. So I'm sure it's an interact.
It's just a pickup action.
Oh, 1 for each?
Yeah.
Okay, so I use 2 actions to pick up the 2 things. And I can move 2 more inches. Moonquake time.
Moonquake. So I'll roll for him first. He's okay. I'm going to roll for the other guy. And he has to roll his survivability thing. But the generalist doesn't have a plus on this roll. So I need to roll 5. I got it. So you have to roll for both those guys.
Yes. First my generalist. He got 4. And now my specialist. He has a 1.
So he's fine. All right, so it's turn 4. We're like flying through the game. We have to roll for initiative. 3. You
5.
go.
Okay. My mission specialist is going to drop.
All right, I'm going to try to mine, but stupidly I don't have the miner over there. So I need a 5 or higher. I got it. That was 1 action. That worked so well, I'm going to do that again. My second one failed, so my third action succeeds. That's his last.
This guy, I dropped. Now, I am going to walk to here. That's move 2. I'm going to get up. That's move 3. And I am going to move here.
I'm going to go move all of my moves, so that would be 8. When do you roll for fleeing? Do I have to roll for fleeing? It's probably the end of this
All right.
turn.
That's 1 move. I'm going to shoot you. This guy, is he your specialist?
Yeah. So technically, at the end of that last turn, I should have rolled one of these for him.
Oh.
Okay, so he's actually still there.
Oh.
It's not going to matter because I can't save him. Because after the second recovery phase, after you go OOA, you're automatically gone. So that would be the end of this turn, would be his second. But that roll should have been the first, and if I had rolled a hazard, he would have been gone then.
Okay.
All right, so you're shooting me. So you have to roll a d6 and add your competency.
Okay, my competency is 2.
And you don't want to roll a 1.
No, please be good. I rolled a 6 plus a 2 is an 8.
All right. So that's a success. So now we roll against my dude. That's a piercing weapon. So you roll a d6, you add your piercing value. I roll a d6 and I add my resiliency. That's my mission specialist, so it's a 4.
All right. My piercing is a plus 6. I have a 7.
And I have a 5.
So that's 2 rolls. I take A damage. I've never done this badly on hazard rolls. I mean, it's not unusual to get nothing on a 2.
Right.
I don't think I've not gotten some damage on any single roll I made. Oh, that's not good.
I'll try shooting you again.
But then you would have to be steady. So you
That's fine. I had 2 more oxygens. One steady. Now 1 shoot.
So you roll your competency first.
All right. Competency is 2 plus this.
I mean, you only have
So that's 5. I made it.
All right. So then we do I do my die plus. You do your die plus your
Die plus 6.
puncture thing, and I do resiliency.
All right. I'm 11.
I'm 7, 4. So that's 2. Just did it. 4 out of action.
Okay.
Technically, he's prone. That was everything
Yeah.
for turn 4. So I have to roll. He's gone.
I'm earthquake. Moonquake.
He's just gone.
Okay.
I have to roll a hazard for him. He's not gone yet. I have to roll for the guy that's standing there for the earthquake because I didn't move him closer to the post like I should have. And he's affected, so I have to roll over 5, and he has no modifier to this, but he's prone. And he takes 2 points of damage. He's out of action.
It's a great game.
So, all because I didn't move him close to that stupid post.
All right. I only have to roll for one guy with the moonquake who's standing, my mission specialist. He gets 2. He's okay.
We've kind of been flying through the end phase because nothing really affected us. So that's for this guy, that's for that guy. Except I have to roll that one twice, actually. And 3. Well, what do I do? The biggest one? We'll do that one first. For every unit that has been removed from play, I have to roll 3 hazard dice. So I got 1 hazard, more than the numbers you started with. So I'm at 1 right now. It's going to be 2 for the second guy that went down. That's 3, plus the one. So we're gone. I mean,
Wow.
technically, I don't even think we can flee because we're all dying anyway. But we would have fleed just now. So I definitely lose the game because you have, 4 things you took off, and you get points for every one of my guys you took out of the game. So there's a short game of Lunar, shows you a little bit of how it would unfold. I've been enjoying the Lunar. I've only played, I guess, 4, maybe 5 games so far, either played or run. But it's a simple system. It's sort of beers and pretzely, but that was really the intention of it. It's meant to be light. You can play the campaign of it. The game is really designed towards playing campaigns, and these campaigns are meant to be short. They're usually meant to be just 4 or 5 linked games, and because of the nature of the game and how short the game can be, you can play a bunch of those in a night, actually, and get through it pretty quickly. Simple game system, but still very enjoyable. I have to be honest, I don't know what the continued playability of the game is. I don't see this ever becoming a major game for a club or an organization, but rather something to do either when you're getting ready to play for the game you're going to play that day, since it is pretty short, or maybe every so often. And what I mean by that is I think, at least at present, with only a handful of scenarios in the book, I'm not sure what the repeated game interest in it may be. I think it might easily become dull if you were trying to play it very frequently, very regularly for a long period of time. But I don't think that's really the intention of the game. I think it's meant to be a fun change of pace from what you may normally be doing. And in that, I think it's going to do a really good job. I also could be wrong, depending on how they support the game and what directions they may take it in the future. They've already now have a number of different factions, 4 different factions. I say 4 different factions, I mean figure-wise, but there's actually more than 4 factions defined in the rule book for the independents. They can be different companies, different factories. You could also play entirely independents, mixed bags where some Soviet, some American, some Chinese all
mixed in together. So there's a number of options that way as well. I'd be interested to hear what experience some of you may have if you've had the game with your playing it, and if you feel differently, or ideas you might have to go ahead and keep it fresh and to add new ideas to Lunar. If you have any ideas like that, please place them down in the comments and share them with you. Very interested to see what other people playing the game may think about that. Also, if you have any questions or comments you'd like to make about the game, we look for those in the comment section down below as well. If you've enjoyed this video and found it useful, I hope that you will hit like. And if you'd like to continue to receive notifications for videos like this one that may help you better determine how to spend your money or your time in your tabletop wargaming hobby, I hope you will hit subscribe and please ring our notification bell. Until next time, cheers.